So here's two examples of styling cars. This is the 1963 Harley Earl Car, where he was able to style the car the way he wanted to. Never went into production as is. You can see the side exit exhaust out the fender. See, the dashboard has gauges on both sides. Unique stripe down the center of the body. There's all kinds of little tricks here and there on this car, and if you spent the time, you'd be able to pick up on them. The guys that really know their Corvettes will be able to see a bunch of things on this car that came out in the future. Speaking of that, here's Bill Mitchell's 64. One of his styling cues is the louvers in the front fenders. That's kind of reminiscent of something that came out in a later generation Corvette. True spoke wire wheels. There's a lot of story behind both of these cars. This one's 1964. Notice that it has 3 taillights, all with red lenses. Wonder what it was like to be a GM engineer and be able to style your own Corvette back in the day. Let's see if we get a peek under the hood here. Small block with air. Two very nice styling cars. I'm sure there's quite a bit of information on the internet that you'd be able to read to see the story behind both of them and pick up on all the small details. While we're looking at Corvettes, let's compare these two. Both 63s. One's a resto mod and one's factory appearing. They're both fuel injected, but in completely different ways. The factory appearing car has its original 327 360 horse fuel injected engine, and the resto mod has an injected LS engine. The resto mod has aftermarket seats or swap from another car, modified dashboard, different steering wheel, really tall shifter handle, and the factory appearing car has its original bucket seats, its original short little shifter, and its factory dashboard. Factory wheels, aftermarket wheels, aftermarket brakes. There's factory brakes hiding behind there. Let's take a peek from the front. Everything is blacked out on the resto mod, and everything is factory appearing on the factory appearing car. Good comparison. The resto mod sits just a bit lower all the way around. Note the tinted glass in that car. pretty cool to see these two cars sitting side by side. And what's next to them is a Bmw Isetta. There's one of these at every auction that I go to. Incredibly popular. Might be cool to drive, especially inside this building. I don't think I'd want to be out on the road, especially if a big SUV decided to tangle with this thing. You're going to be a hurting unit. And beyond that, it's an old Cutlass Sx Convertible. An optional fiberglass hood. And another very low mileage Corvette, 34 miles. There was a number of these at the auction this week. A couple more Corvettes. A couple of twin Mustangs. Not identical twins. They must be fraternal. I see a Corvair, a GTO convertible, and a Corvette on the end. And a lonely Mustang. Oh, look who's coming in the picture. 5-window coupe. Must have just come off the block. Hope you enjoyed all the Corvettes.